So we have had a history of assembling a group of community leaders and asking you to thoughtfully look at the applications. Some do involve site visits, which I think this year will still be virtual. Although, you know, we've had some big news in the last couple of days, so maybe things are going to be opening up and changing a bit, but I think we'll probably stick with our plan. And so I want to thank you for taking time to do this. And I also want to say, I hope that this is a mutually beneficial opportunity. I think you will learn a lot about some things that are going on in the nonprofit community that you may not have known about, and really be inspired. And I think that's what the whole Salute to Excellence is about. It is inspiring the community with the great work that's being done to help all members thrive. So our salute this year is going to be virtual. It'll be October 21st. However, we are looking at kind of a hybrid in that we're going to encourage watch parties. So we figure by October 21st, people will be ready to gather at least in smaller groups, maybe not 1,200 in a ballroom that is like it has been traditionally done. And so we will have some creative ways for people to put watch parties together, and you will be hearing from Chelsea about some opportunities for that. So we hope that you will even think about hosting a watch party, maybe with your review panel and your new friends that are on the panel. I'd love to introduce the chairs of our event this year. We have Kara Ince, who is the chair. This is her third year. It's a succession planning process. And Kara is with Congressman Jim Cooper's office. Kara, will you give us a greeting?
Sure. Thank you guys so much for being here and for volunteering your time and your skills to help us review these awesome applications. I started out right where you are. I started out as a panelist, and then I was a chair of a panel, and then I was awards chair, and then co-chair and chair. So I've been involved with this process for, I was trying to think, I don't know, probably like 7 years or so. And so I've done all of the different positions, and I'm so excited for you guys to have this opportunity because it's really fun. It's really inspiring to see what all of the nonprofits are doing. And it's a really hard decision because there's so much good work being done. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this and for being here with us today.
Thank you, Kara. And then we have Nathan Green, who is a Vice Chancellor of Government and Community Relations at Vanderbilt University. Nathan is the co-chair. Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning. Good morning, Terry's and Kara and all of you. And my story is very similar to Kara's. I mean, I served on a panel. I still think about that panel and the tough decision we made, but also the awareness you gain by what's really happening in the community. The heroes that are out there that really make Nashville what Nashville is. And that's why this is a really important job that you guys have. And especially at coming out of a year where a lot of these nonprofits struggled, but also stepped up in the middle of that struggle to really help all of our Nashvillians. And so we want to honor them. And part of this kind of opening back up and this good sense that there's more hope and feeling that we're kind of turning the corner on this is that we can have this event. And even though it's virtual, I think these watch parties are a great idea. We're slowly but surely getting back to where we were. And but the mission continues, and these nonprofits continue to be needed and are impactful. And it's really important that we honor them all the time in a meaningful way. And so the first step of that is for all of you to participate in these panel discussions. So from on behalf of me personally, but also Vanderbilt, we are just honored to be with you guys and to be a part of this process, and just look forward to a really, really successful event.
Nathan, thank you so much. Thank you for your leadership on the committee. Terry Vo is with Comcast, and I think you probably almost all know Terry because, first of all, she knows everyone in Nashville, but Terry is the awards panel chair this year, and she actually has the hardest job. So Terry, I know we're going to hear from you more later on in the program, but say hello. And you're muted, just FYI.
Thank you so much, Terry. And yes, just like Terry said, we're the Terry and Terry Show. I am so honored to be the Salute Awards panel chair, and thank you all so much for all stepping up. I mean, with the pandemic that is still ongoing, you all are taking extra time from your day jobs to really review all these applications that Chelsea's about to send to all of you all. So we really appreciate it. Thank you to my panel chairs. The success of this award is because of you all. And thank you so much for being so focused on having panels that are diverse and inclusive and equitable. And I'm so proud of that. And I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you, Terry. That is a big value of ours here at CNM. So I'm glad to see that being carried through in the panels. That is terrific. Perspectives matter, and we need as many perspectives as we can get. I want to introduce the CNM staff members who relate to Salute. You'll be hearing from Chelsea Harden. Chelsea is our Senior Manager of Membership and Database, and Salute is one of her big projects on the membership front. And then we have Catherine Swanton, who is, wave your hand, Catherine, who is new as our Manager of Special Events and Marketing and Special Events. Yes, I got it. I know. And Catherine's been with us, came in as a kind of temp during the pandemic and worked her way into a full-time job. And then Marissa Sweiston, I believe, is on with us. Marissa is the Chief Partnership and Development Officer. So I'm so happy to have the CNM team. I am just swooping in to say hello this morning, and I'm turning it over to the capable Chelsea Harden, and she and Terry will take you through the rest of the agenda. So many, many thanks. Have a fun meeting and great weekend. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Terry. Good morning, everyone. As Terry mentioned, my name is Chelsea Harden, and I am over Salute here. So just wanted to walk you through a little bit just about Salute generally. Don't want to assume that everyone knows what Salute is, and just also want to walk through kind of the process that the nonprofits went through to apply for these awards. So you kind of have that full context as you go into your review time today. So just to give you a little bit of history, this is our 28th year with Salute. So we've been celebrating the nonprofit sector for quite a while now, something that we love to do. So this year we have 10 awards. Those are listed on our website, but I'll just quickly read those off to you so you know the different categories that we have. So the Frist Foundation, they sponsor 3 different awards. They have an award for innovation and action, an award for team building, an award for revenue development. We then have the United Way of Greater Nashville, who sponsors our Community Impact Award. SunTrust, now Truist, who sponsors our CFO of the Year Award. Piedmont Natural Gas, who sponsors our Sustainable Practices Award. The Erie Chapman Foundation, who sponsors our Radical Loving Care Award. This one was formerly called the Servant's Heart Award. Diversified Trust, which sponsors our New Generations Award. Craft CPAs, which sponsors Board Member of the Year, and then CEO of the Year. This year, we're also a little bit closer to time going to have something a little bit different. The Memorial Foundation has historically sponsored an award that goes through this process, but with our event being virtual this year and with just all of the stories that we have from the past year, we're going to be doing a Nonprofit Leadership People's Choice Award. So that process will roll out a little bit later in the fall, but just so you kind of know that that is something that will be coming down the road. So just to give you a little bit of information about the application process. So our nonprofit members were allowed to apply for 2 of the 10 awards. So they go through the categories and select the categories that are most pertinent to their stories as they relate to their past year or years of work. So that's kind of why we give you the context of just the overall category. So you know they had to kind of pick and choose what best fit their story. Just kind of general eligibility requirements. They must be a CNM member serving in the Middle Tennessee area. And they also must have a complete and up-to-date Giving Matters profile, just so we can ensure their charitable solicitations permit is up to date, all of that. I go through and check all of that information in advance. So that's not something that you have to worry about screening for. So that is taken care of. The things that we're asking you to look through and consider are the specific award criteria. So Each organization is asked to kind of go through, there's a few fill in the blank questions, and there's about 5 or 6 essay questions that help to really flesh out the story of their work in that specific area. So that's what we're asking you all to look through and help us make decisions on. So you'll select 3 finalists, a winner, and then 2 finalists total. So 3 finalists in total, 1 being the winner, and then of course 2 being finalists. So with that, we will announce those at the end of June, and then we go into a video production process. And we use those videos the night of Salute to help share the stories in just like a 30-second snippet. It's something that they can use after the event, for their marketing or to share for other grants, that sort of thing. But we allow that to be part of the process and get their input, get their materials. So that's why we start this process a little bit earlier in the spring. What we're going to walk through today, we've got a master list that I'm going to give you all the link for. We just want to ensure that you all have each other's information. So what information we do have is in there. And also in that list, you'll see all of the people who applied for your specific category. So we're asking you to look through that and ensure that you don't have any conflicts of interest. So, obviously, if you work for them or you are a board member, something of that, we're just asking for some transparency around that. Me and Terry are happy to help move people around in different panels if you do have something you feel like allows you to not be impartial. So please let us know that today. There is a space on the spreadsheet where you can put that in the list, but feel free to also send a chat to me or Terry though, so that we can help to ensure to get you on a new panel as quickly as possible. Obviously, this goes without saying, but please keep everything confidential. The most exciting part of this is when we roll it out in October, that it's a surprise who the winner is. So we will announce the finalist again at the end of June. But we do want to just keep our information, our processes as confidential as possible, just for keeping the surprise elements as fun and exciting as they can be. So just a quick overview of the timeline, and then I will kick it over to Terry. So starting today through June the 15th is when you have the time to evaluate the applications. Terry's going to talk a little bit more about like what that process can look like, but panel chairs, if you will make note to have the names of your winner and 2 finalists to Terry by June the 15th. We're asking that you meet at least once as a panel, and that can be on Zoom. If you want to do it in person, that's your personal decision, but we want you to feel comfortable all together, but we are asking that you meet virtually at least once. So just let us know if you need assistance with setting up a Zoom meeting or something like that. I'm happy to help assist with that. And then again, mentioned it a couple of times, but we'll announce the finalists, the full list at the end of June. So, all right, I'm going to pass it over to Terry, who is going to walk us through just a little bit more specifically your responsibilities. And she has also been a panelist, so she's going to share a little bit about her process as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Thank you all so much for your time and commitment to the nonprofit community. I think what is so important is that being a part of Salute to Excellence, CNM does not select the winners or the finalists. It's you all as representatives of our community. And that means so much. And I think just so you all know, Salute to Excellence, I've heard it said this way, but it's the Oscars of the nonprofit world. It is the largest awards recognition ceremony in the country, not just Middle Tennessee, not just Tennessee, but the country. So you are a part of something so special. And of course, I really want to acknowledge all of our sponsors for their commitment to the nonprofit excellence, and to Chelsea and PNC for being the Salute to Excellence Award event sponsor. So like Chelsea said, I am a former past panel member. I see Ken on here, and I was so fortunate to serve on Board Member of the Year. I see Sarah and Erica with United Way. I have been also on the Impact Award, and I really look back and they made such an impression on me. I still remember reviewing all the applications. Ken was so great. And United Way, we had rubrics, which I loved, and it really made it where I feel like I could review all of them. And then when I came into the meeting, we all worked together. And I think it's a really special bond because you're really wanting of course, we want everyone to win, but really going back to what the criteria is for the awards and really going back to that. I remember the year we did it with Kim, and so many applications were so great, but we remembered it was board member of the year, not the past 5 years or 10 years that they've been doing. So really, when you are having your discussions, just really go back to the award criteria, because I think that helps really center everyone, because all of us will have our favorites. So just remember that when you are on the panel, and I know that your panel chairs will really be great guidance for that. And I wanted to just highlight again the timeline. Just make sure that you all evaluate the applications. We really try to give you all, and just like Chelsea said before, that you'll give me the winner and 2 finalists by June 15th. So really that date is like the last day. And we really want you all to, meet at least once. And if you need assistance with Zoom, we have that ability. So don't feel like you need to go and set up an account. We can provide that. And just like was mentioned earlier, with everything going on with COVID, we really, of course, want to ensure everyone's health and safety. So we will not be doing physical site visits. If the panel sees fit and you all would like to coordinate like a Zoom site visit, with the top 5 candidates, because I know some of the awards panel, you are going to realize you have a lot of applications, and it may be really hard. And so you might want to really have an extra touch point. And so with that, just let us know. And then you'll have about 30 to 45 minutes to talk to the organization you're considering. And one thing that's really important with so many logistical concerns these days, we really ask that you allow no fewer than 10 days notice to the nonprofits regarding their upcoming interview. And it's just really critical for all panel members to visit each finalist so that it's really equitable. So we really want everyone on the panel, they would be visiting everyone who is a finalist. And just specifically for the Frist Foundation Awards, panels will have specific key point outlined in your packets to help with the selection process. And if you have any questions, please just contact Chelsea or me, and we will help you all. And of course, we want you to save the date for the biggest Oscar nonprofit party of the year, October 21st. And like Chelsea already mentioned, we'll announce the finalists at the end of June. And we really hope that this is a rewarding experience for each and every single one of you all. I think it's been so exciting just having conversations with my panel chairs and how excited everyone is. And that I feel like once you are part of the Salute family, you want to stay a part of it and just continue to see the great work that is happening in our community. So please feel free to reach out to Kara, Nathan, me, or any of the CNM staff, because we want you all successful in this process. And if you have any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to reach out. And I'm going to pass it back over to Chelsea.
Awesome. Thank you, Terry. So we are kind of our next step in this process for the day. We're going to let you all go into breakout rooms as a panel to talk about just the process, dates for scheduling, that sort of thing. But before we go, I just want to open the floor for any questions that we might have that maybe Terry or I have not addressed. So we'll just allow a minute or two for that. If anyone has one, please feel free to send it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask it now.
Hey, Terry, this is Amy. Just to confirm, the visits with the nonprofits will be in person, or will they be in Zoom?
It's fine. We want them on Zoom, not in.
Okay. When you said 10 days, I was a little confused by that.
Sorry, I just mean like when you're letting them know that you're going to have the Zoom interview, we want them at least 10 days notice. But yeah, nothing in person. It would just be on Zoom. Thanks for that clarification, Amy.
Yeah, just for a little further context on that, our nonprofits take this very seriously. And so when they do the site visits in a historical context, where for this in Zoom, they put a lot of preparation into that. So we just like to give them plenty of notice so they can have the right staff members, or some of them like to have PowerPoints, all sorts of things. So we just like to give them time for that. All right, any other questions?
Hi, this is LaQuinta with Boys and Girls Club. Terry, did you mention the time of the event on October 21st?
We did not share the time yet. So it will be in the evening, and Chelsea, I don't want to say incorrectly. So I don't know if the time had been finalized yet.
Yeah, the time has not been finalized yet. Typically, we do it around dinner time, but everything looks a little bit different. This is the first year we've done it virtually. So it'll probably be like 6 to 7 range if I had to guess. So it'll be that evening.
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? Last call. Awesome. All right, well, we will send you into breakout rooms. So what we want you to cover is just be sure that you discuss the scheduling of when you all can meet to get together to review the applications, and that you review that list that's on there to ensure that you have no conflicts of interest. And if you do, please note them, and also feel free to send me or Terry though a chat. Go ahead and kind of start thinking through, like, if you have a specific format you'd like to use. We have just a generic rubric that we can share after the meeting today if you'd like something to plug in criteria in there, or if you'd like to, different panels do it different ways. So we kind of allow you the freedom to create that formatting as it makes the most sense for your award and your group. And then once you are finished in your breakout room, you can depart from your breakout room. We don't want to hold anyone up from their busy day, as we, again, are very grateful for your time. So we want, feel free to hop off of that once you have everything settled. Panel chairs, if you will just pop back in and tell us the date and time of your meeting, just so we kind of have a general idea that everyone is taken care of, whether we need to help you set up a Zoom, that sort of thing. I'll be hanging out in the main room. So if you get into your breakout rooms and you have any questions, feel free to pop back out, ask me a question, and I'll be happy to help guide you through that. And then this afternoon, you can expect an email from me to your panel with the actual applications. This year, just for your knowledge and context, this year we had 228 applications, which is actually a really big number for us. And so especially with all that's happened in the last year, a lot of people had a lot of really great stories to tell. So we had a really, really awesome year with applications. So there's a lot of information to dig through. So we'll send that to you, as well with a few other links and a recording of this training, just in case you need to pop back and remember something from the training.